More than 100 countries have just signed up to a US and EU-led pledge to slash methane emissions by 30% this decade. What we call natural gas in Australia is actually just methane. If CO2 is the Kim Kardashian of greenhouse gases, methane's kind of the Kris Jenner. Doesn't make the front page of New Weekly very often, but she's still actually pretty influential. Over a 20-year time frame, methane has more than 86 times the warming power of carbon dioxide, meaning that it impacts the climate for the near future. Atmospheric concentration of methane is increasing faster now than at any time since the 1980s. At least a quarter of today's warming is driven by methane from human actions. Methane comes from a few different sources. The main ones are from farm animals like cows, or decomposing landfill and fossil fuels. Methane also leaks out of coal mines and gas and oil wells as something we call fugitive emissions. So do you reckon Australia signed the pledge? Yeah, nah, surprise, blocking progress again. But why? If you were Barnaby Joyce, you'd say it's because we'd all have to go out into our backyard and shoot our cows. Didn't realise this was a feature of the methane pledge, but to be fair, I didn't read the fine print either. No one wants to shoot cows, so we don't sign the pledge. Makes sense. Or maybe it's not actually the cows. Maybe cow killing is misdirection by the government. Maybe this is actually about protecting Australia's gas and coal industry. So in Australia, our agricultural methane emissions are actually falling, but methane from fossil fuels are growing massively with the support of the government. Analysis from the Australia Institute shows that if you add up all the fugitive methane emissions leaking out of gas and coal projects, it's about 50 million tonnes of CO2 equivalent every year, which is equivalent to all the cars in Sydney driving around for 4 years. If you add up the fugitive emissions from planned gas and coal projects, it's about another 80 million tonnes a year. So cows do produce a lot of methane, but we actually don't need to kill them. We just need to transition away from fossil fuels. Just like Australia's Santos-sponsored pavilion at COP26, avoiding this pledge is just another gas-led decision to protect fossil fuels in Australia.